Video games can get pretty expensive. It's not a cheap hobby, so saving money anywhere you can is definitely important, especially if you want to keep up with a lot of the games coming out. So we're going to try to help you save some money. This isn't sponsored, and some of this may seem pretty obvious, but we're only here to play the advice game. Today on gameranx, we're talking about 10 video game buying hacks you should know to save money. Starting off at number 10, we have embracing those deal sites. Now this can be good or a bad thing depending on how much of an impulse buyer you are and how much you just love a good deal. But those websites and Twitters that are always keeping up with good deals are a great way to save some money and get some good deals. Cheap Ass Gamer and Wario64 on Twitter are probably some of the best. The amount of money I've spent from Wario64 alone just tweeting out some killer deals is absurd. You can also turn on tweet notifications for one of these accounts if you know there's a cool collector's edition pre-order going up that you don't want to miss, or even if you know a good deal is going to happen sometime soon. It's a great way to not miss out on something you really want. There's also a few good subreddits to check out that keep track of whatever deals are going on. r/games is a good one to check out, and r/PC gaming, they're always talking about deals in there too for PC games, obviously. Moving on to number 9, swapping with friends is another good way to save some money on games, whether you buy 2 different games and then swap when each of you beat one, or you just force them to buy every game that comes out and then you take it from them to play when they're done, or just take it from them mid-playthrough. It's a foolproof plan and a money-saving one at that. And if you don't have any friends, well then run out and find some and then borrow all of their games. Coming in at number 8, bundles are a great way to get a bunch of games for really cheap. Places like Humble Bundle are always offering deals on bundles, and not just on games. They have you buying at a different price tiers, and each tier unlocks X amount of games. They also do their monthly bundle as well, where you can pay $12 a month, and every month you get a bundle of great games. And these bundles always include a mix of bigger and smaller games, and honestly, most of them are pretty good. They've had XCOM 2, Quantum Break, The Long Dark, the newer Tomb Raider games, Hyper Light Drifter, and a ton of others. So getting a $60 game for $12 plus other games, it's a killer deal. Next up at number 7, this is kind of old school. I don't really know anymore, but you can always go about renting a game if you don't feel like shelling out the $60 for it. While places like Blockbuster and Hollywood Video aren't around anymore, there are still things like Redbox and Gamefly available if you're looking to rent. Oh, and here's a super hack for you guys. Libraries. Yes, libraries, a place with all the books and the quiet people. Some of them actually have games that you can rent. And not just old games, but like new releases too. Obviously, all of this depends on your area and whether or not you have a cool library in or near your town. But yeah, library cards are free, I think, unless I missed some type of memo there. So really, you could play all of the new releases for free, as long as you have a cool library. Moving on to number 6, this isn't technically a way to save money, but try to pick up longer games. If you get yourself a long RPG with a ton of things to do and see, you can just play that for a while and then you don't need to pick up anything else. I mean, look at Persona 5, that game takes hours to beat, and if it's anything like Persona 4, there's even more stuff to do once you beat it and start a new game. A game like that can keep you busy for hours, making it so you really just only have to play that. So run out, buy something like Persona 5, and we'll see you in about 200 hours when you're ready to start something new. At number 5, we have something for the PC gamers out there. You know when you open up Steam and it takes you to the store right away and you see that every Bethesda game is like 70% off, so you buy every single one? Well, that's a really good way to spend a lot of money really fast. But you can make it so the store isn't the default window when you open up Steam. If you go into settings and then go to interface, you can actually change your favorite window to be whatever you want it to be. So now you can just launch on your library instead of the store where Gabe is trying to strong arm you into buying every single thing on there. Hey, or you could save a lot of money on Steam by just not having any money in the first place. And jumping into number 4, try to figure out where it is that you tend to purchase your games and see if they have some sort of membership that you can take advantage of. The memberships seem corny as hell, but often they do have real benefits. A lot of big retailers offer them, and so do some smaller mom and pop shops. Amazon Prime offers 20% off new games when you pre-order them, and if you have Twitch Prime, you actually have Amazon Prime, so why not? Best Buy offers a similar deal with their Gamers Club Unlocked, which is probably the lamest membership name I've ever heard, but saving money is very nice. And GameStop has one too, but it's like tiered and kind of confusing and I don't really understand it. Just check to see what memberships work best for you. They're all different. And if you buy a lot of games, it could definitely help you save money in the long run. And moving on to number 3, sticking with physical games is a great way to save money. For one, there's a ton of retailers that offer great discounts, great sales, or free gift cards, or like a free hat with a purchase. And you also see a lot of buy two get one or percentage off, which is great to take advantage of. Target always has a buy two get one deal towards the end of the year when every game ever is coming out, and it's a great time to pick up new releases or things from earlier in the year that you may have missed. You're also able to trade in your physical games and get some of your money back, which leads us to our next point. At number 2, we have trading in games, but being smart about it. Yes, I know big retailers like Game in the UK, yes, there's actually a retail chain called Game, and GameStop do tend to rip you off. We all know that, so don't get too desperate. Be patient and sell them back the smart way. A lot of these big retailers will have trade-in promos, like trade in 4 games to get an extra 50% trade-in value, or trade in all these games towards pre-ordering this game and get an extra 30% in trade-in value. It's also a great way for getting a good value on some older games that really aren't worth that much. Doing this in bulk will net you a good amount of trade-in value. Also, selling them individually on Amazon and eBay can get you some of your money back as well. Then of course there's the mom and pop shops that usually offer more money than a GameStop, and then you also get to support small local businesses, which is always awesome. You can't really do trade-ins with digital games, so this is a big plus for physical games. Finally, at number 1, the absolute best way to save money is to just not spend money at all. Just because a game is older doesn't make it worse. There's no rush to have fun. You have fun at your own time, so avoid spoilers and get the game and enjoy it when your wallet allows you to do so. Maybe you have rent to pay, or a pet to take care of, or a debt to pay off, or hey, maybe you have to buy groceries, in which case that stuff definitely should be taken care of before spending money on video games. Unless you're like me and stuff gives you life, then by all means, please buy away. And those are 10 video game buying hacks you should know to save you money. Do you guys have any other things you'd like to recommend? Meet us down in the comments and let us know. And as I'm sure you're aware, hitting the like button really helps us out. And if you're new here for some reason, we put out videos like this every single day, and the best way to get them is by subscribing to the channel. As always, thank you for watching. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time right here on GameRanx.